College basketball tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. A pair of undefeated teams from the ACC. The Wolfpack of North Carolina State to take on the Billikens of St. Louis U in the A-10. We're at Chaifetz Arena in Midtown St. Louis. And here we go. Scott Highmark, Dan McLaughlin with you. As just a couple of nights ago, we were talking about this big showdown, and maybe a win tonight for the Billikens, Scotty, could propel them to the top 25. But first things first, you got to pick up a win tonight.
Yeah, well, this is a bonus game really for both these teams. But when you get an ACC team on your home floor, not only is it an opportunity to build some confidence, but it's a huge resume builder as well.
Javonte Perkins, the Billikens are scoring a bunch in their first 5 games, and in many ways leading the way, the smooth Javonte Perkins.
He's just a natural-born scorer. At 6'6", he can do it all. He'll knock down threes. He can finish in transition. He's got a pro-level mid-range game. He really came on strong last year after transferring from junior college, averaged 18 points a game, became 6th man of the year in the A-10. Dan, he's been hot. You can see where he is in the A-10, averaging 19 a game, 60% from the field and 59% from the three-point land.
19 points, leading the Billikens in scoring so far this year. Jericho Helms, the 6'7" junior, it's a homecoming for him.
It's good to see this young man from St. Louis getting to play in his hometown, a Chaminade High School product, having a very nice career for the Wolfpack. 6'7", 205. He can shoot the three, Dan, but he can also bully his way to the basket. He's the second leading scorer for NC State. And oh yeah, he's the 3rd all-time leading scorer in the history at Chaminade High School, behind a couple of guys you might have heard of, Tatum and Beal.
Not a bad trio. Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, and Helms, the top 3 scorers in Chaminade history. Helms back in St. Louis with the Wolfpack. The ACC against the A-10. The Billikens trying to stay undefeated in 2020. Travis Ford and the Bills at home tonight. We're at Chaifetz. Opening tip comes your way next. St. Louis University Billiken basketball is brought to you by your Quality Ford dealers, proud sponsor of your SLU Billikens. Go to buyfordnow.com to learn more. Midtown St. Louis, Chaifetz Arena. Look at your starting lineups. And for NC State, the Pack, they have had 5 games canceled or postponed in the last 17 days. They're 3-0 with wins over Charleston Southern, North Florida, UMass Loyal, and those are the 5 that they've got right now going in their lineup. But Scotty, they have only traveled with that 5, only 4 more on their bench, a total of 9 players dressed out for this game.
Yeah, they're a little thinner than they'd like, but they definitely have some experience. Returned 3 of their 5 starters from last year's team, Dan, that went 20-12 and 10-10 in the ACC, would have made the NCAA tournament, and Coach Kevin Keatts done a nice job in his 4th year at NC State.
Led NC State back to the NCAA tournament in his first season with the program, and then took the team to the NIT quarterfinals in his 2nd season. Looked to be on his way to the big dance last year. Welcome back home to that young man, Jericho Helms, 3rd all-time leading scorer at Chaminade behind Beal and Tatum. What a great high school career he had, and here he is playing against St. Louis U.
Well, you know, it's exciting for him to come back and be able to play on his home floor. If only his family and friends could be here in the arena with him.
Yep. So many fans have reached out to me saying thank you to Fox Sports Midwest for putting this game on television. We're excited to watch the Billikens. They are 5-0, trying to go to 6-0. And for the Bills, it's been really dating back to last season. They have won 10 games in a row dating back to February of last year, tied for the 4th longest active streak in the country. Tip controlled by NC State, the Wolfpack in the road red, and the Billikens in the home white. And this would be a great test for SLU.
Billikens come out in their traditional man-to-man. They like to apply a lot of ball pressure, and Dan, they're playing much more up-tempo. They like to get out and run. This guy, Yuri Collins, sets the tone.
That was the miss by Beverly, and SLU will have their first possession of our ball game. Kick to the corner. Gibson Jimerson looking inside to Hassan French. They've done this in every game. First possession, trying to go to the big man. There's the right hand. Won't go. The putback. Yes, it's up and in. There he is, as always. Jordan Goodwin, 2-0 SLU.
Yeah, one of the best rebounding guards, not in just the A-10, but all of the country. Averages a double-double at 15 and 10 at 6'3".
Man-to-man shown by the Billikens. Both teams will play man-to-man. Both teams like to run. That young man right there can elevate. That'll be a good test for Hassan French. That's Manny Bates with the miss. SLU coming back the other way. Yuri Collins sees a little lane. Hesitation. Picks up the dribble. Kicks it back out.
We got a mismatch if they can take advantage of it.
Javante Perkins for three, short. Hassan French chased it down. Fresh 20 for SLU. Kick it outside. Gibson Jimerson, open man. Yuri Collins for three. No. Offensive rebound. Great look inside. Perkins 4-0 SLU.
Second offensive rebound for Jordan Goodwin. This Billiken team averages 11 offensive rebounds, so they get a lot of points off missed shots.
What a look by Jordan Goodwin. His second board to Perkins, his easiest bucket of the year. May have been a shuffle of the feet. Yelling on the far sideline, a travel, they don't get it. The answer there by Helms. And the Chaminade kid puts in his first bucket here in St. Louis.
And that's what makes him such a tough matchup. It's 6'7", 210. He can go inside. He can put a smaller guy. He'll post you. Very versatile.
Here's French at the head of the key. Now Jordan Goodwin. Goodwin in the lane to French. Goodwin gets it back off his hands, back to the Wolfpack. Last two possessions, let's take a look.
Billikens were patient offensively, but Jordan Goodwin just so active, great court vision, but just has a nose for the basketball. And then Helms doing what he does, and he's got a little size and strength against Javante Perkins. He's a tough matchup down the block.
Helms, the second leading scorer for NC State. This is Beverly, really good outside shooter. Tough shot there, may have forced it. Billikens want to run. Here's Yuri Collins, one of the top assist men in all the country, but a tough pass to Perkins. Hit out of bounds, and it'll stay with SLU as Beverly is slow to get up on that far sideline. They could ill afford to lose him or anybody tonight.
Yeah, they are short. Beverly's had a nice start to his season. 12 assists and only 1 turnover, kind of the consummate point guard for Kevin Keats.
And appearing in his 102nd game, so you know he's battle tested coming out of the ACC and some of the great atmospheres that you have in college basketball. Gibson Jimerson tripped up, but it doesn't matter. Falling towards that far sideline, stepped out of bounds, and it is back to NC State. 4-2 SLU just underway here at Chaifetz.
Yeah, when you're battle tested and you've played at Cameron Indoor Stadium on the road, you've played in Chapel Hill, Virginia, Louisville, Florida State, at Syracuse, coming and playing in an empty building is not going to be too daunting.
No. Inside, wide open, and a tough foul on Hassan French.
That might have been a message foul by Hassan French. Ooh. Number one, you're not going to dunk on me. And number two, I'm going to get my money's worth. Watch him come over. He says, yeah, I'm going to get my money's worth.
And he got it.
Why don't you go to the free throw line and make a couple?
Wow. So that'll send the sophomore out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Manny Bates, to the line. Wolfpack so far in 3 games, not a great free throw shooting team, 65% in 52 attempts. Rattles the first one home. Bates is an elevator. He's got 91 blocks, Scotty, in just 32 games.
Yeah, he led the ACC in blocks last year. 6'11". He's a rim protector, and ironically, he and the point guard Yuri Collins from St. Louis are cousins. It's a little family affair together.
So we're tied up 4-4. Just underway here in St. Louis. SLU and NC State, one of the biggest games that SLU has had in quite some time. Javante Perkins got it stripped away. Numbers for Beverly. Gives it up, and the finish. Nice finish by Helms. He's got 4 of the 6 for NC State.
Yeah, NC State wants to put some pressure. They average 12 steals a game. They haven't played the greatest competition. You mentioned the 5 games have been canceled or postponed, but they like to get out, they like to pressure, and they want to increase the tempo of this game.
Under 15 on the shot clock. SLU trying to get in some kind of rhythm here offensively. French takes it himself, wants to spin, gets it in the lane, got it blocked. And there it is. That's Manny Bates. Usually it's Hassan French with the blocks.
Yeah, Hassan French hasn't faced anybody yet this year that really has given him problem down on the block, but he also hasn't faced anybody with the length of Bates.
Ooh, may have been a travel, no call, tough shot off the back iron. Hassan French with the rebound. Travis Ford not happy at all. He's off the bench and screaming. We're going to have a couple of substitutions here shortly.
Yeah, a little stagnant offensively.
Goodwin threw it away. And again, no rhythm offensively for SLU. NC State goes back the other way. Can't finish. May have been over the back. No call. Ball loose. Jordan Goodwin the other way for SLU. Goodwin leans in, got it blocked. Bates his second of the night. Jimerson for three, missed everything. Ball loose, it'll stay with SLU. In and out of the hands of Devin Daniels. Ooh boy, the pace, get ready for it. It's going to be back and forth here tonight. Beverly and the homecoming assorts for Helms. Young man out of Chaminade at 6'4", NC State. The second meeting between the Billikens and the Wolfpack. SLU defeated NC State the first round of the 2014 NCAA Championship Tournament, rallying from 16 down with 8 minutes to play. 16 down. They would win 83-80 in OT in Orlando, and eventually SLU was ousted by Louisville, but what a win that was for SLU in that day.
Yeah, great win. Rob Lowe, Dwayne Evans, Jordair Jet, some of the great Billiken teams. He had a 5 seed that year, and Travis Ford building this program up in his 5th year. And you think about the win total, Dan, of this program. First year they win 12, next year 17, the next 2 years 23. They just get better and better, and he gets more depth and more talent, and he's got the deepest and most talented roster he's ever had here.
Goodwin, Collins, Linson, Jacobs, and Thatch on the floor. So a couple of substitutions, some of that depth here. Goodwin pulls up, that's no good. For the Billikens, last 6 possessions, 4 have been turnovers. That missed there by Goodwin, and it's a 6-4 Wolfpack lead. Fred Thatch out on the floor. One of the great defenders in the A-10. Altered that shot of Helms. Thatch has it here for SLU. Leans in, may have walked, no call. Doesn't drop, gets his own rebound. Inside, that got blocked. The third block by the big man Bates here in the first 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, Bates is going to challenge anything at the rim. He's playing volleyball out there.
You mentioned it, length. It's a difference maker. Inside, take it right at him, but they couldn't finish. Demarius Jacobs. That's one he'd love to have back. Here's Daniels. That's in and out, no good. Daniels, your leading scorer, better than 18 a game. Goodwin wants to push, leans in, draws contact and a foul with 14-14 to play here at Chaifetz first half. 6-4 NC State.
Yeah, when you're struggling offensively, one way to break that is get to the free throw line, get to the basket. Don't settle for contested jump shots. And Jordan Goodwin that time, get to the rim, get fouled, stop the clock, just see the ball go in, which gives yourself and the entire team some confidence.
The Billikens this far this year, a 75% free throw shooting team. Jordan Goodwin knocks down the first.
Yeah, a real struggle from the line last year. They shot 53% as a team, but this Billiken team looks to be different offensively. They're leading the A-10 in almost every offensive stat.
And 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Cuts a lead, 6-5 Wolfpack. Substitution, Hargrove will check in. The next stoppage of play for St. Louis U. Linson checked out up front. Now it's Bates against Linson. Good matchup there, and Linson fouled Bates, and that'll send him to the line. Bates hit already a couple of free throws early on in this contest. You have to wonder, Scotty, as they went right after Linson, in this game, can the Wolfpack get worn down with only 4 on their bench? Will that become a factor when you start hitting 35 minutes, 36, 37 in this game?
It certainly could, and particularly a guy like Manny Bates. Usually DJ Funderburk, another 6'10 player, is playing a lot of minutes. In fact, Funderburk, entered his name in the NBA draft and withdrew. So Bates is not used to playing 30, 35 minutes, but they look like they're playing through him. On the other side, if you're Martin Linson, Manny Bates is not a real skilled guy down on the block. I think what you want to do is wall up, make him make some shots. Don't put him at the line.
Thomas Allen is in. The redshirt junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina, as Beverly will get a breather for the Wolfpack. And it's 7-5 in favor of North Carolina State. Jacobs on the floor. Thatch, Collins, Linson, the pick. And will it be an offensive foul? It will. Illegal screen.
Travis Ford yelling, he just fell, he just fell. See, Linson's right there, and that's a tough call. The defender does a nice job more of kind of going into the screen and selling it a little bit.
So here is Moore now on the floor for NC State. Sebron, Allen, Bates, and Daniels, the 5 for the Wolfpack. Into the hands of Sebron. And now Manny Bates elevates. No. Fred Thatch with it. Bills want to run. Collins. Erie behind the back. Now in the lane looking for help. Linson inside. Tied up. Ball loose. Linson has it. And he's fouled. That foul will go against Manny Bates. Sends Linson to the line.
Tell you what, NC State's doing a good job in defensive transition. You can see Uri Collins trying to probe and push the basketball, get in transition, but Kevin Keats' team's doing a really good job stopping on the defensive end any momentum the Billikens have.
Linson has had the most free throw attempts thus far for SLU with 16. He's been very good. Now that's 14 of 17 thus far for the Bills this season for Martin Linson out of Dusseldorf, Germany.
Grad transfer from UNC Wilmington, average double digits. You see Collins. Again, he's going to continue to try to push the ball, but nice job by Linson going right into the shot blocker. And one way to get a shot blocker like Manny Bates out of the game, go right at him. Go right into his face.
And it looks like they're throwing bodies at him too. Linson out. Yep. Now here comes Hassan French back in.
Yep, probably see Jimmy Bell, another 6'10", 250-pound post player for the Billikens.
Here's Daniels. How about Hassan French coming out on the perimeter to guard, you know, the guys that you normally don't see guard like that. The big man, Hassan French.
That's what makes their half-court defense so tough. They're basically playing 4 guards on Hassan French, and they can switch everything with all 5 guys because he can move his feet laterally.
Moore will inbound. They back up Collins on the inbound right in front of the SLU bench with 12:50 to play in our first half. Underneath, nice look. Sebron finishes with his first 2. Fred Thatch the other way, leans in, and a body foul against NC State. And that's going to go against Shaquille Moore. NC State with a lead of 2. And boy, this has been up and down so far on both sides. No one wasting any time, not a lot of offense, not a lot of rhythm really offensively.
Yeah, not a lot of flow. I mean, credit that both these teams are well coached, well scouted on the defensive end, even though both these teams only found out they were playing on Tuesday.
That's right.
You talk about a quick turnaround for NC State. They find out on Tuesday afternoon. They've got to travel Wednesday and play Thursday.
Helms will check back in for the Wolfpack. And that's really tough on not only on the players, but the coaches trying to figure out a scout too.
Oh, I could see it in Travis Ford's eyes as we were doing postgame with him on Tuesday night against Indiana State. He was already fast forwarding and thinking, how late am I going to have to stay up with my staff to scout the NC State game on Tuesday night?
We've been told many times he'll finish up a game, and if he knows, let's say they play on a Thursday, they're going to play on a Saturday, as Thatch knocks it out of bounds, he's up with his coaching staff till 4 or 5 in the morning looking at the next game's opponent. And there's the shoot around earlier today as they went over some of the tape that they had on NC State.
Yeah, there's nobody that's more of a coach's coach than Travis Ford. I mean, he's a true basketball head who just loves it, eats, sleeps, and breathes it, just like his dad, Eddie Ford, back in Kentucky, and he loves every minute of it, but they will definitely be prepared.
French on Daniels, knocked it out of bounds. The all-time blocked shot leader in SLU history adds to that total.
I mean, again, he's moving his feet against one of the best 2 guards in the ACC, who's averaging 18 a game.
Yeah.
Moves his feet and then gets the lift and knocks it out of bounds.
The last game, by the way, for NC State was back on November 29th as the officials come together, and they'll separate the players, and they're tied up a little bit. Talk to the players about that.
Yeah, so now you got French guarding Helms, which, you know, Helms is more like a 2-3, and you've got Hassan French guarding him.
3 is short. Hassan French with his 2nd board of the night. And the big man will bring it up the floor. He's guarded by Helms. and hands it off to the point guard, Yuri Collins. Stay out there, set a pick. Collins gives it back to French, and French is going to lose it. And frustrated there is Travis Ford. Diving for it out of bounds was Hassan French. Came up short, but not on that one. Knocked it out of bounds. It's been back and forth so far. The ACC against the A-10. It's 9-8.
State Wolfpack lead the Billikens 9-8, and Kevin Keats got to be really happy with his team in the defensive transition. Watch Yuri Collins push the basketball in transition. We stop it right there. Yuri Collins is trying to probe and get into the heart of the defense, and look at NC State walling up with 4 defenders with their eyes on the basketball to stop Collins from penetrating and having to set up in the half court. A little bit of a broken play, but that all begins and ends with defensive transition.
Okay, you're Travis Ford. Are you okay with this start? You happy with it? You upset? Where are you right now, 9-8?
Not real happy.
Okay.
Not real happy. That's why you've seen so many subs. A lot of trying to find the right combination, the right chemistry. Not a lot of flow on the offensive end. Defensively, they're doing fine. This is an interesting matchup. Having Hassan French, your 5, guarding Helms, but I think it's going to work for the Billikens.
Tough move. That's Devin Daniels. And that's his first 2, and again, he is their top scorer coming into play tonight, better than 18 a game.
Yeah, this is the end where they've got to get some flow. Shot selection's got to be important. Javante Perkins has got to get some touches, and I still think, especially with Manny Bates out of the game, you got to play through Hassan French. You got a size advantage on this end.
Perkins slipped, lost it, and the Wolfpack want to run. Tough shot, no good. And now the Billikens want to run. 3-on-3 here, and Goodwin knows that, but Hassan French dishes, beautifully done. Perkins on the receiving end, and he's got 4.
Well, that's what they needed a little more of. That when you're struggling offensively, get to the free throw line, push it in transition, try to get a couple easy baskets, and maybe some points off turnovers.
This is Moore. He'll get it back from Helms. Moore against Collins with the left hand, and he'll go to the line and shoot a pair. So 11-10, NC State with 10:41 to go in our first half.
Yeah, again, Goodwin pushing the ball in transition, just patient, good catch, and nice finish and pass by Hassan French to Javante Perkins.
And the first one is no good. NC State from the free throw line, just 3 of 5 thus far. Billikens 4 of 6. Neither team has shot the ball well. NC State is 27% from the floor, and the Billikens are 23. 1 of 2 from the free throw line is Moore. And a substitution is Braxton Beverly, young man out of Hazard, Kentucky, is back in. Full court pressure by NC State. Jordan Goodwin with it. Perkins now to Jacobs. He'll spin. And the Billikens handle the pressure very easily. How do you get in a rhythm right now if you're SLU, Scotty? What do you have to do?
I think you got to play inside out and get Hassan French some touches. See a foul that time. Perkins trying to cut to the basket. And again, don't be, sometimes you got to go north and south versus east and west. I think the Billikens are, again, credit the defense of NC State. They're putting a lot of ball pressure, but you got to get something going downhill at the rim, or you got to play through Hassan French and just see how they play him. Make Manny Bates play him straight up. He blocks your shot, he blocks your shot. Maybe you can get that second foul on him.
Tough shot, Perkins, and stepping out of bounds was Jordan Goodwin. May have had his heel on the baseline. Regardless, Perkins short, and it's back to the pack.
Well, you can see the athleticism of this NC State team. They recover well. They've got good length on a guy like Perkins who scores so easily at times. But when you can put some size and athleticism, it makes it a lot harder.
There's Sebron, Beverly, and Hassan French on Beverly. That is an interesting matchup. Bates inside, finished, and he's got 6.
Well, and that was good patience by Braxton Beverly. He had French on him. He was patient. He saw the mismatch with Bates and Jacobs. Delivered it right on the money for the big fella.
Hassan French to Jordan Goodwin on the wing. Goodwin gets a pick, looking for French, and they throw it out of bounds. And right now, SLU, without question, is out of rhythm and sync offensively.
Yeah, and again, without Yuri Collins, you don't have that natural floor leader, and he's taking a break right now. Damaris Jacobs running the point, but Jordan Goodwin, he's the leader, he's the senior. He's got to calm down, not force things, just let the game come to him, and certainly not turn the ball over.
SLU has turned it over 8 times. The Wolfpack just once.
Yeah, that's going to drive Travis Ford nuts.
That rattles out. French picks up the rebound. So the Billikens knew this was going to be a test tonight, and they're getting it. French may have pushed off, missed a little bunny shot, and they can't get that to drop. And boy, that's maybe the easiest shot of the game they've had.
Yeah, they're letting them play though. I mean, down low, they are letting them go on both ends. Bodies are flying. Watch French go up against Bates. Bates just flies back, and you're right. That's the shot that Hassan French will make 9 times out of 10. Just can't get it to go. Just kind of loses it.
So 14-9 in favor of NC State.
You can live with missed shots. The thing that drives Travis Ford crazy is turnovers. Those unforced turnovers, like in tennis. That's what kills you.
So Beverly gets a pick. Now kicks it left side. They'll go to Bates inside. Bates got it to drop, and a chance at a 3-point play. And the foul on Hassan French. That's his second personal, and with that, Jimmy Bell will check in for SLU. And Bates has had a really nice first half.
He really has, and you got to credit Kevin Keats. I mean, there's no mystery about what the game plan was for NC State. We're going to clear out a side, and we're throwing it to Manny Bates, and we're going to go right at Hassan French. And Bates really more, known for dunks and stickbacks and block shots. He's been very effective. His skill game has really improved since last year.
Bates 4 of 5 from the free throw line, and he has 8 of the 17 for NC State.
That takes another option away on the offensive end. Again, Jimmy Bell's not going to give you a lot of post presence on the offensive end.
Here's Perkins, left elbow. Doesn't drop. No second chance opportunity for SLU. Daniels going the other way. Fred Thatch is going to check in momentarily. Daniels pulls up, knocks it down, foot on the line. Timeout taken, Travis Ford, and the biggest lead of the night either side belongs to the Wolfpack. (19-10) with 8:04 to play in the first half.
Well, you see the swagger that NC State's playing with now. Just, you see that experience. They see the mismatch down on the post. Manny Bates finds Jacobs on his back, and Travis Ford is none too happy. I mean, it's one thing to shoot 3 for 16 from the floor, but to turn over the ball 8 times and not defend as you can defend, as he expects to defend, he's not a happy camper right now.
Not at all. Manny Bates now on the other side, becoming one of the stories in this game. 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from the floor. Game high 8 points, already with 3 blocks, and he's been a difference maker.
Yeah, he's a game changer on the defensive end. Led the ACC in blocks, and you see why, but it's really on the offensive end that's been quite a surprise. Came in only averaging 7 a game, and the game plan was go through Manny Bates, and not only has he scored 8 points, he's gotten to the free throw line, and he's got Hassan French as second personal. He's going to have to sit for a while.
So French on the bench, as you mentioned. If you play Bell, not the offensive option that SLU would be looking for, so you're limited in that regard. Linson then has had to play some quality minutes possibly here down the stretch of the first half.
Yep, no question. They're going to have to do it by committee tonight without Hassan French. And again, no surprise. This NC State team is battle tested. They won 20 games last year. It's a proud program. They've been in the tournament 27 times. They have 2 national championships. We always think about 1983 and Jim Valvano's team and Lorenzo Charles dunking the ball in, Sidney Lowe, Derek Wittenberg, Terry Gannon, Thurl Bailey. And you asked me, Dan, why do I know the starting 5 for the 1983 NC State Wolfpack, and I can't remember what day garbage day is?
Right, or what 2 plus 2 is.
Exactly.
Right.
But I know the starting 5.
I got you. I'm in the same boat.
My wife's like, amen to that.
17 conference championships for NC State, 27 NCAA tournament appearances, and a couple of national championships. And none more famous maybe in college basketball than Jimmy V. Jordan Goodwin. Yuri Collins on the floor. Goodwin, Perkins, Jimerson, and Bell. That's the 5 right now for SLU. And SLU in desperate need of just a good possession, a good look. Gibson, Jimerson, 4-3, and that's what they needed. It comes at the right time, and Jimerson knocks down the 3.
Well, and he's a guy that's going to have to provide some offensive punch. It was a good creation that time by Jordan Goodwin, but Jimerson's probably the most capable, naturally offensive player other than Javante Perkins.
Helms, Allen, Beverly, Bates, and Daniels on the floor for NC State. Lean in and going right at Jordan Goodwin. For the 2 is Daniels.
Yeah, Daniels is legit. I mean, you can see why he's a potential All-ACC player.
Offensive foul. Offensive foul on Thatch, and that was Daniels taking that charge on the far sideline to go along with his 6 points. So 7:10 to go here in our first half of play.
Yeah, Daniels had 29 against Charleston Southern. He started his career at Utah.
Inside it goes. Bates turns around with the left hand. No good. Couple of Billikens there. It's Jordan Goodwin. Goodwin already with 6 boards. Collins inside. Got it rejected. The 4th block for Bates. Kept alive by Bell. Thatch kicks it. To the corner goes to Collins. Billikens get the fresh 20 to set it back up. Yuri Collins. Now to Jordan Goodwin. Goodwin all the way in, trying to finish with the left hand. No, Jimmy Bell got it blocked from behind. Bates already 5 blocks in the first half of play. NC State wants to run. This is Beverly, head of the key, puts it on the floor, floater short. Goodwin will get it the other way. Collins, ooh, Thatch was there, missed him. Collins got bumped, no call. They let him play, out of bounds, back to the Wolfpack.
They are consistent. They are letting it go on both ends.
I'd say so.
This is a man's game. So when you drive and you get contact, don't be looking for a call. I like what Yuri Collins is doing, though. He's trying to increase the tempo, trying to get in the flow, trying to get a couple easy baskets for the Billikens, and he's been trustworthy with the basketball this year. 39 assists and only 6 turnovers.
Fred Pestello, the president of SLU, will be our guest at halftime, so don't want to miss that, talking about the academic and athletic side of what's happening at SLU and dealing with COVID-19. They got through that in the first semester. Bates got it stripped inside. That's Thatch. Thatch wants to go the other way. Got it stripped. It'll stay with SLU.
Boy, every time it looks like they're going to get an easy one, NC State gets a hand in, or they can't quite handle the basketball. And Travis is like, when can we get an easy one?
Right. Here's Bell to Collins. Now Javante Perkins matched up with Beverly. Goes right around him. Little floater in the lane, doesn't drop. Perkins trying to get into a flow as well with the entire offense. Nothing falling for the Bills just yet. Daniels, deep 3, in and out. Thatch the rebound to Collins. Will go the other way. He wants to push. Collins all the way in. Yuri gets something going here for SLU.
And that's what he's been trying to do, is find that crack, find that opening, and that time he finds it.
Thatch all over Daniels. Daniels inside around Bell. Gets it to drop. And Daniels has 8. He and Bates with a game-high 8.
Daniels is really good at straight line driving to the basket.
Here's Collins, gets a pick, kick it to Jimerson for 3, his 2nd for the Bills.
What a quick trigger. I mean, that's a catch and shoot.
23-18. Under 5 to go in the first half. Bell steps out on the pick. Daniels sees a lane, goes at it, and that'll be a whistle on the floor. Substitutions coming up on both sides. Linson will check in momentarily for SLU. That's on Perkins, his first personal. Let's take a look at Yuri Collins here.
Well, again, he's been doing this the last few possessions, and finally he gets through the teeth of the defense. Nobody steps up, but then next possession dishes it off to Gibson Jimerson, who's got that quick catch and release.
Daniels' first free throw attempt Came in 8 for 12.
Get out, get out.
Hits them both. Ooh, dangerous pass. The steal by Daniels. Helms from the right elbow, no good. Pulled away by Perkins, and that had some anger with it too in that rebound.
Yeah, Billikens definitely frustrated on both ends, but
Collins inside.
you gotta love this young man. Yuri Collins just continuing to probe, just putting the team on his back right now, saying we need to get something going, and I'm going to push the basketball, be a distributor. As I mentioned, his assist to turnover ratio is 6.5 to 1 so far. If you're a point guard out there and you have a 2 to 1 assist to turnover ratio, that's pretty good. He's 6 to 1 right now. Very, very gifted passer, terrific defender, and an improving shooter.
Helms will have a seat for NC State. Sebron back into the ball game. Jordan Goodwin back in for SLU. Fred Thatch will check out, and you can see a nice applause on the far sideline from his teammates as he did a pretty good job defensively.
Yeah, he really did. He changes the game on the defensive end. He can guard Daniels. He can guard Helms. Gave him some good minutes.
So Daniels up the floor for NC State, slows it down just a bit. Under 4.5 to go in our first half of play here from Chaifetz Arena in St. Louis. Beverly steps in, looks for help, doesn't have it. Jordan Goodwin, 1-on-3, takes it in, off the glass, no good. Rebound to Sebron. Deep three, let it fly and let's just play. Here we go. Collins the other way for SLU, trying to find a lane, spinning, now floater, fouled, he'll shoot 2. It hasn't been pretty in the first half, but they're letting them play and they're going back and forth.
We're not running plays, coach, we're just playing.
Nope, just excited to play. First game for NC State since November 29th. 25-19 in favor of the Wolfpack. ESPN Networks' Greg Amsinger. He is a St. Louis native. He was watching the other night, Indiana State. He said, I would not miss this game tonight against NC State. And he said, I'll be watching with Dan Plesac. Dan Plesac pitched at NC State, but I bet we can get Dan to convert and maybe even actually cheer for SLU tonight.
You think so?
He said they're going to be cheating and watching our telecast tonight, so I'm sure they're watching tonight in New York.
Perfect.
A lot of folks watching this game.
See Kevin Keats made it to the tournament 2 out of 3 years at UNC Wilmington. Doing a great job at NC State. Also was an assistant for Rick Pitino at Louisville and the head coach at Hargrave Military Academy, one of the top prep schools in the country. And they actually won 2 high school prep national championships while at Hargrave. So he's coached 14 future NBA guys. He's been around the block a bit. Knows what he's doing.
Under 4 to play, 25-21.
A little 1-3-1 half-court trap. Haven't seen this all season by the Billikens.
Nope. You got to try something, right?
Absolutely, and Travis Ford will do that. He will mix up his defense, try to kickstart his team. They did a lot of that last year.
It's a pick and wanted it from Gibson, got it. Daniels now looking for help, steps back out, 5 on the shot clock against Perkins. Beverly has to let it fly, did not beat it. And a good defensive stand there by St. Louis U.
I'll tell you what, that 1-3-1 just kind of confused them for a minute. They just couldn't get any flow, and Kevin Keats not too happy with his offensive set that time. But credit the Billikens and Travis Ford for changing it up out of the timeout.
So 25-21. You know, it's a 4-point lead. I don't know about you, it feels like the Bills are down by double figures.
Yeah, they're 6 for 24 from the floor. They have 11 turnovers, and you look up and they're only down 4. Very fortunate.
one point they were down by 9 tonight. Prior to tonight, the largest deficit was 6 against LSU for SLU. Collins in the lane to Linson, and they turn it over again. Another SLU turnover, and that is 12 here in the first half for SLU.
Yeah, that will be a point of emphasis at the half for Travis Ford for sure. But they're staying in the game, and that's what you got to do is you stay in the game on this end. On the defensive end, you grind, you're physical, showing a 1-3-1 again, see how NC State attacks it. But they've stayed in the game because they've played well enough on this end to keep NC State to only 25.
Deep three, right side, and splashed down by Thomas Allen. Redshirt junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina, knocks down the three, and it's 28-21. Quick hands and the pick. That's Moore against Collins, picked his pocket. Just like that, it's 30-21, 9-point lead for the Wolfpack. Collins aggressively going at the big man and knocked it in.
Tell you what, Yuri Collins is not backing down. This isn't his best first half, but I like the moxie that he's playing with.
And his pocket pick and went right at the shot blocker. Bates has 5, and Yuri Collins now with 7, and that'll be a walk on Daniels. Neither team has shot it well. The Billikens 28% the first half. NC State 39%. NC State 1 for 6 from behind the arc. The Billikens 2 of 5. Any way you want to look at it, it's been a pretty ugly first half.
not an offensive clinic by any measure.
No.
But both teams very physical. Refs are letting them play. Even that last shot by Collins, there's contact at the rim almost every time.
Linson wanted to draw the foul maybe on the pick, but doesn't. And Perkins, a little too strong, will go back the other way. Helms, young man from Chaminade. Nice look and the flush. Moore to Bates.
That's a beautiful drop off by Shaquille Moore. Really making his presence known in the first half.
And a body foul with Collins going up the floor, and those two are going at it. That's Shaquille Moore and Yuri Collins.
Yeah, watch the drop off. Beautiful drop off for the big fella, Danny Bates. And please don't jump, Martin Linson.
No. Bates with 10, Daniels with 10, so those two have combined for 20 of the 32 for the Wolfpack. Terrence Hargrove is into the ballgame now for SLU. Yuri Collins at the line with 7, 3 of 4 from the free throw line thus far tonight. Billikens 11 free throw attempts, and they've hit 8 so far. That's a much improved Billiken team from the free throw line this year so far.
It really is 75% as a team. And sometimes that's a function of who's shooting it. And
yep.
Candidly, Hassan French hasn't gotten to the line a bunch. Jordan Goodwin hasn't, but guys like Gibson Jimerson and Javante Perkins have.
32-25 with 1:20 to go in the first half. Beverly gives it up. Helms inside the arc, pulls up, no good. Jordan Goodwin, now Yuri Collins. Collins, hesitation, takes it in, got it swatted away. Bates now has 6 blocks. Pull up from 3, Thomas Allen. Lead at 10. Will go the other way. Jordan Goodwin inside the arc. And we're having fun here at the YMCA.
We got a couple in a row. We're getting some rhythm, some flow. Unfortunately, there's only 45 seconds in the first half.
Or wait a minute, we're at Chaifetz.
Yeah,
not the YMCA.
Yeah. Feels like we're at the Y at lunch. It's like a noon game.
That's right. Hey, why not? Let it fly. Missed it. Hargrove the rebound. And Yuri Collins has it. It's a difference of about a second and a half, game clock and shot clock. On the floor, Goodwin, Collins, Linson, Hargrove, Jimerson for SLU. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Travis Ford says go, go, go. Collins with it. In the lane, hangs in the air, beat the clock. And Yuri Collins with 9 in the first half for SLU. like that last possession. And Yuri Collins checked that now with 11 to lead the Billikens in scoring. So 20 minutes in the books. It hasn't been pretty. It's been up and down. The Wolfpack from the ACC here in St. Louis. They lead the Billikens. It's 35-29. Billiken basketball on Fox Sports Midwest, 35-29 in favor of NC State. Earlier today, had the chance to talk it over with Dr. Fred Costello, the president of St. Louis University. One of the first things we talked about was SLU navigating COVID-19, getting through the semester both academically and athletically, the first fall semester.
Well, first of all, let me say it's a pleasure to be here with you and our audience tonight, Dan. We were able to come through the semester quite well. Naturally, with everyone else in higher education, we were concerned at the start of the term about how it would go. But by going to our mission and values, relying on our experts, a lot of planning, execution, the hard work of our staff, our faculty, and our students, we were able to deliver most of the classes either face-to-face all the time or half face-to-face, half online, with online only as an option for both faculty and staff. We did it successfully, as did a number of other institutions. I think higher education in general came through this better than many would have expected. Some schools stumbled. Some schools chose, for various reasons, not to open, but I'm very proud of SLU, our students, our faculty, and our staff. We had a good term under these conditions.
I got to ask you, so many fans are watching Billikens basketball tonight. How excited are you about watching this men's team in particular and the kind of start that they've had to their season?
There's no question. I'm now in my 7th year as president at SLU, and this is our strongest team yet. We've had an exceptional start to the year. It was very disappointing when the A10 tournament was shut down in March. Completely understandable, right decision, but very disappointing for us. So to be back playing with this team under this coaching staff, I'm very optimistic about this season.
How do you feel about basketball and just sports as a whole, how SLU has handled that in the fall and what's happening now in the winter, and then looking forward in the spring and how you're handling all the protocols and the guidelines that are in place?
Yeah, so we're already planning for the spring. We started that even before the last term ended, and we'll have to see how it goes. And on the medical side, obviously, we're excited. We were participating in the development or testing of the Moderna virus vaccine, and we're hoping to be rolling out vaccines soon, get the community inoculated. So we're preparing on the medical side, on the SLU care side with the med school and our researchers. And on the education side, we think it's going to look a lot like the fall did. We think we'll still need to mask, social distance, put in place protocols for gathering, but we're hopeful that we will be as successful in the spring that we were in the fall. I really admire what's going on with Billikens athletics. It's not been easy to practice and play under these conditions, but I'm proud of our team and all of those student athletes who are participating in sports now.
Yeah, and I'm sure the athletic department led by Chris May, you have to be thrilled with what he's done trying to get through these protocols, your coaches, because that is, I mean, we talk about the student athletes, but for the coaches, trying to get through practices, the protocols, and keeping these kids safe and mentally healthy too, and getting through this, it's not an easy task.
No, Chris and Travis both are playing lead roles in both the conference as well as in the NCAA, just in college sports athletics in general. And we're fortunate to have them both, and we're enjoying our success at the level we are because of them and those with whom they work.
Doctor, you have been a leader in this community. SLU is as well. Continued success and good luck this winter. Good luck in the spring. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Dan. Good to see you.
Dr. Fred Costello, the president here at SLU. We thank him very much for his time earlier today. It's 35-29. Here in St. Louis, and our halftime score from the ACC, NC State, the Wolfpack 35, and from the A10, St. Louis U, the Billikens 29. It was probably the worst first half we've seen offensively from Travis Ford, and yet the Billikens are only down 6. They turned the ball over 13 times, Scotty, so there's a lot of improvement potentially here in the second half.
Yeah, they're lucky to be down 6, shooting 31% from the floor. You mentioned the 13 turnovers. What kept them in the game is the rebounding.
Yeah.
9 offensive rebounds, and they got to the free throw line, and Yuri Collins doing a great job in transition, really kept them in the game.
Collins, a leading scorer for the Bills with 11, 35-29. Billikens shot 31%, NC State 41%. That'll help your shooting percentage. We'll see what happens in the final 20 minutes. NC State, Billikens, second half coming up. They lead 35-29. Leading scorer in the game overall, Yuri Collins with 11. Jimerson had a couple of threes for the Bills for his 6. Jordan Goodwin with 5. By the way, Perkins and French a combined 2 for 10 in this game. So there's your leading scorers, Bates and Collins, thus far.
Well, Bates was really the difference in that first half. Not only was he scoring the basketball, but had 6 blocks and just a complete rim protector. And really, they played through him, and that's where Hassan French picked up his second personal. See if they can get Hassan French untracked here early in the second half.
Goodwin, Collins, Perkins, French, Jimerson on the floor for SLU. Here's Yuri Collins with those 11 points and turned it over. Billikens issues with turnovers in the first half. They're 14th now of this game.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a good team from the ACC when you're turning the ball over at the rate that they are.
So 14 turnovers now for SLU. Shot clock is down to 10. Here's Daniels, wants to go inside to Bates, matched up with Jordan Goodwin, backs him up, missed the shot. Perkins has it. Now to Yuri Collins. Jimerson is open, is there if he wants to go to him. Collins takes it himself. He's got a game high 13.
Tell you what, this is the most aggressive that he's been all year at looking to score himself.
Yes.
He's usually, I mean, he'll go games where he shoots 2-3 times the whole game, but he feels the need to be more aggressive offensively, and he's keeping the team in the game.
Beverly rattles one home inside the arc. And so NC State up by 6, 37-31. Maybe some if the Bills can get Perkins going. Their leading scorer only with 4 points tonight. Perkins with it here, looking to score, leans in, got it stripped. Jordan Goodwin picks it up and he is fouled. Birthday wishes go out to Jeanne Weber Wellborn. Happy 90th birthday, a SLU graduate, 90 years young, and the one way she's celebrating her birthday tonight, she said, I'm at home, I'm watching my Bills.
I love it.
So happy birthday. So Goodwin at the line. 5 points to go along with his 9 rebounds.
We always talk about his versatility. This young man's going to end up with over 1,000 points, probably 1,500 points, over 1,000 rebounds. One of only 2 or 3 Billikens in history to do so. Already is the career leader in steals. On track for another double-double.
Billikens pick up full court pressure here after the make. How about the Bills? 11 of 14 now from the free throw line. That has kept them in this game.
That's exactly right. That and 10 offensive rebounds, really keeping them hanging around.
Here's Daniels, passed up maybe a 3 at the head of the key. Wants to take on Jordan Goodwin. Some ball fakes with the left hand, no good. Hassan French has it. Billikens want to run. Here's French, kick it to the corner. Gibson, Jimerson, ball fake, now to Collins. He'll set the offense. Gets a pick. Wants to roll Collins. Looking for help. Gets it, Javante Perkins. Perkins, reach in, no call. Jimerson for 3, splashed it home, his 3rd of the game.
I mean, this kid is a sniper. Woo. Quick trigger.
And just like that, it doesn't feel like it, but the Billikens are down by a point.
Well, this team averages almost 90 a game as Beverly gets another one. And you just feel like they've got too many weapons to the Billikens. At some point, they're going to get on track because they've got multiple weapons, and you wonder if the depth of NC State and missing 2 guys in their regular flow is going to hurt them.
Perkins got it. Boy, they're letting them play, aren't they, Scotty?
Yeah, I mean, they've been consistent. If nothing, they've been consistent on both ends. There's a lot of contact.
Perkins now is 6 for St. Louis U. Beverly has had a couple of points, a couple of buckets here in the second half. Daniels with it with 10. Came in as their leading scorer. He's got the ball matched up with Jordan Goodwin going right at him, and they're going to let Goodwin get that foul.
Travis Ford says that's the same play that just happened on the other end. But watch the little broken play. Look how deep he is. I mean, Jimerson doesn't need much room. He doesn't need much time. Keeps it high. Splash.
So Daniels at the line.
Jimerson's the kid that was averaging double figures as a freshman, broke his foot, really ended his freshman year, but he had 16 points against LSU, 21 against Central Arkansas, and moves well without the basketball. And again, between him and Perkins and Collins and Goodwin and French, I mean, you got some options. It's a team that's averaging close to 90 a game. You feel like they're going to get in better flow, and we're starting to see signs of that early in the second half.
Spreads the floor too.
Yep.
You have to defend him. Opens it up there for Perkins. If you want to sag on him,
That's
then
right.
you can kick it.
Yeah, because you got to hug Jimerson. You cannot leave him, and that creates space in an ISO play that time for Javonte Perkins.
So Perkins now with 8, and the lead back to 1 for NC State. Hold him here, next possession, maybe take a lead, but Beverly says no thank you, 2 possession, knocks down to 3. He's had some big shots here in the second half.
He makes good decisions. You can see why he had 12 assists and 1 turnover. He just makes good decisions with the basketball. When he's open, he shoots it, doesn't force it.
The follow-up by Hassan French, no. Goodwin inside, ball fake, fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot a pair. Goodwin now with 10 rebounds.
The Billikens with 11 offensive rebounds. There's a stat, Dan, called offensive rebound percentage, which means how many of the available rebounds do you get? And the Billikens average 37% of the available offensive rebounds they get. That's by far the leader in the Atlantic 10.
This basketball season, the St. Louis KC Carpenters Regional Council teamed up with the Billikens to present the Nailed It Shots of the Game. Every time a SLU player nails a shot this season, the Carpenters Union donates $2 to Habitat for Humanity. Find out how you can join the Carpenters Union. Visit www.carpdc.org. Something to keep in mind is foul trouble. Bates has got a couple, Helms has a couple, Sebron has a couple, so think about that as NC State is limited on their bench, especially when you get under 10. Beverly against Gibson, Jimerson. He's got 7, looking for 10, no. Jimerson elevates for the rebound. Here's Yuri Collins. Collins takes it in. Got it blocked. They let him play.
There's just no whistles being called tonight.
Travis Ford literally was on the floor on both knees. Couldn't believe it. Lean in too strong, and Bates elevates.
Yeah, this is a grown man game. You get in the paint, don't be looking at the referee. You better finish.
Back door. Hassan French couldn't get it through. That's too strong. Sebron couldn't finish. He's late coming back. Bills have numbers, but Travis Ford is upset about that. He wanted him to push when they had numbers 5-on-4.
Problem is you had the right guy with the ball.
And Gibson, Jimerson, a chance at a 3-point play. He'll go to the line. Jimerson, 3 threes tonight, looking to add to that. Tight ball game.
How hard can you go? How hard can you go?
Trying to make it another big win. Non-conference against an ACC team, but the A-10 has put up some pretty good non-conference wins along the way this year.
They absolutely have. Richmond beat Kentucky handily at Rupp Arena. Fats Russell in Rhode Island beat Seton Hall, one of the better teams in the A-10. And Dayton, a big win against an SEC team in Mississippi State. They've got one of the best players in the league in Jalen Crutcher.
So SLU atop the A-10 at least overall records, and we're not too far away from league play. St. Louis U at 5-0. Kane will be here in St. Louis on Wednesday, December 30th, as the Billikens will open up A-10 play, and then away we go inside the Atlantic 10 Conference.
Well, those non-conference wins, what they do is they help your overall conference ranking. So if they want to try to get 3, maybe even 4 teams in the NCAA tournament, those non-conference wins will really help.
There's Thomas Allen.
They could show a little zone out of the timeout.
Helms fouled, and he'll shoot 2 going at Linson. 14:27 to play, SLU down by 1.
Great story about Jericho Helms, the young man from Chaminade, followed in the footsteps of David Lee and Bradley Beal, played 2 years with Jason Tatum. Great story with him is he was very lightly recruited out of high school, played with St. Louis Eagles, now called the Bradley Beal Elite, on the Nike EYBL circuit. They played in the Peach Jam, which is down in Augusta, Georgia. It's the big tournament culminating the summer club basketball circuit. He goes down there, has an incredible week, goes from a few low major Division I offers to everybody offers him. Everybody in America comes out and goes after him after a great week playing with Bradley Beal Elite, and now he's having a terrific career, averaging 14 points in the ACC.
Pretty incredible, isn't it, how it can change just like that?
Yeah. He and Goodwin played against each other in high school. How about this? He had 47 in that game, and Goodwin had 42 head-to-head.
Pretty good.
Wish I was at that game.
Well, his first couple of years he played with Jason Tatum, so offensively, let's just say you're not the focal point.
You think?
So it's going to take a little bit to catch up in the scores book there, but he became the 3rd all-time leading scorer, Helms did, in Chaminade history behind Tatum Beal. Pretty impressive. Quick move, Yuri Collins, and offensive foul on Collins.
Tell you what, watching that real time, I thought that was the right call. Shaquille Moore did a nice job sliding over. Yep, he's just waiting outside the circle for Yuri Collins.
Again, it's a 1-point lead for the Wolfpack. And there's a whistle underneath. Linson, I believe, called for the foul, and it is.
See if we see it. There's all kinds of contact, and not a ton going on there. Wasn't even shooting it.
Beverly knocks down the 3. NC State bench wanted a chance at a 4-point play there, as Linson may have been called for the foul, but wasn't.
Kevin Keats is all over the officials. We may have a technical or 2 before it's all said and done here. Both coaches unhappy.
Beverly's had a couple of 3s here in this second half, and now they've got numbers the other way. Daniels gives it up. A chance at 2 here for Jericho Helms. He'll go to the line. Big 3 again by Beverly. Every time, Scotty, they needed a bucket, they go to Beverly, and he's knocked them down.
He really has hit some tough shots right when they needed to answer. And yeah, he's a veteran. He's your senior, consummate point guard. Yeah, Kevin Keats, again, neither coach real happy with the officiating. They're certainly letting him play. As long as there's consistency, I think coaches are generally okay with it. But if you get called, start calling ticky-tack fouls, and then guys are getting mugged at the rim, that's when coaches have a hard time.
Timeout taken by St. Louis U after the make. Pressure defense by NC State. Helms now with 6 in his return. Pick up that face mask, coach. 51-45. 2016, they had 5 players go on to Division I basketball, and now 2 are playing in the NBA, and 1 is playing here tonight in Helms. That guy's really good, and he's really rich too, by the way. He just signed a long-term deal with the Celtics, Jason Tatum, and Helms is here tonight. What a collection of talent in 2016 for Chaminade.
That's a Fab 5 right there for you in high school basketball, when you got Tyler Cook and Tatum and 3 guys that played high-level D1. I mean, that's almost unfair if you're Kevin Walsh and the Vianney Golden Griffins trying to play against Chaminade.
Anybody. So here's Yuri Collins. Tripped up, they let him play. He's matched up with Moore. Off a pick, Javante Perkins elevates, nice. You can see he was in rhythm with that shot.
Yep, that's his game, curling right into the mid-range. That is classic vintage Javante Perkins.
So the lead at 4 for NC State. 12.5 to go. 2 undefeated teams here tonight. Here's Beverly. He's been on fire here in the second half. Floater, got it. Beverly has been huge.
Oh, he's crafty too. He's got like different releases and floaters, and obviously can knock down the 3 ball.
Braxton Beverly, 6-foot guard out of Kentucky, and will go the other way. So it's back to NC State.
Tell you what, Shaquille Moore is disrupting the Billiken offense. We've seen him take charges. We've seen him rip Yuri Collins in middle of the floor, and that time just takes the ball away from Javante Perkins, who actually probably smartly fouled him, or it would have been a layup on the other end.
Billikens have had a couple of chances to take a lead with a possession here in the second half. The last time they had a lead, Scott, was when it was 4-3 in favor of SLU. Since then, they've been trailing. Bates inside, and he'll try to complete a 3-point play.
That's exact. No, they called him for a travel.
They called a travel.
Yep. Right call. Traveled before the contact.
NC State 53. The Billikens 47. 11:58 to play at Chaifetz. Joint makes staying at home a bit more bearable with your new Taco Party kits for 4. Available for carryout and curbside at all 5 St. Louis area locations. For more information or to order online, visit missiontacojoint.com. 53-47. Last time the Bills had a lead, it was 4-3. So they've been playing catch up all night long. They have not shot the ball well. They're shooting 38% tonight. Meanwhile, NC State not much better at 42%. Billikens, though, 14 of 17 from the free throw line. What has plagued the Billikens in this ball game, turnovers. Billikens have turned it over 18 times. Meanwhile, NC State just 6. That's a big difference in the game.
It is. And Billikens got within 1 twice, but just turned the ball over on 2 possessions. So see if they can do a better job taking care of the basketball, getting the shot that they want.
French looking to find help, and he does. Jordan Goodwin with 5 on the shot clock, backing in his man, and a whistle and a foul against Devin Daniels.
Yeah, that's where Goodwin's so valuable as your 2 guard. You can invert him, put him on the post, and let him go to work.
So Daniels with 2, Bates, who's on the floor with 3. Bates, by the way, with 7 blocks and 12 points. Helms with 2, Moore with 2. So something to think about as we head down the stretch. Jordan Goodwin with his 28th career double-double, and a double-double in 5 of the 6 games this year.
Well, you think strategically, can you go at Bates? I mean, Bates is a game changer. When he's not in the floor, it opens things up. And it'll be interesting to see if Travis Ford can find a way to get Bates his 4th foul.
Left hand, there's Bates with the follow. He flushed it home, so Bates a big night for NC State. He has been a difference maker now with 14 for the Wolfpack. Yuri Collins, floater trying to answer. French, no good. Goodwin inside, and the putback is good for Jordan Goodwin, who's got 12 for SLU.
Yeah, the great thing about Jordan Goodwin is you don't have to run any plays for him. Just say, go get the ball, big fella.
And he does.
He ends up getting his 15 points and 10 rebounds. You don't have to run a single play for him.
He's got 12 points, 12 boards for SLU. Kick it to the corner, catch made. Gibson Jimerson all over. Helms, young man from Chaminade, looking, trying to get it into Bates. Got it back to do is knocked around. That's Daniels with it. 5 on the shot clock for NC State. Here's Daniels. No good. Jordan Goodwin. Lead at 5 for North Carolina State. Perkins, Gibson, Jimerson for 3. May have been knocked on that shot, but no call. Tied up, foul. And that'll be against NC State. Looks like it'll go against Daniels. If it is, that's his 3rd. It is against Daniels, and that's number 3.
Well, sometimes the Billikens' best offense is a missed shot, and that's the 14th offensive rebound on the night for the Billikens. So on nights when the ball's not going in, offensive rebounds are always available.
French to Collins.
Trying to run that same curl move to Javante Perkins. Well defended that time by NC State.
Picks it up at the free throw line. Kick it now to Demarius Jacobs. Just checked in. Steps through to Hassan French. Baby hook. Blocked away. Goaltending. So Bates is trying to pick up his 8th block. Instead, it's goaltending. And the lead again cut to 3. Collins on Beverly. Seems like when the Bills make a little run or get back in it, it's Beverly who comes up with a big shot.
Yeah, a lot of standing around for NC State, a lot of one-on-one play.
10 on the shot clock. Collins on Beverly. Bates sets the pick. Beverly, Helms against Perkins. 1 on the shot clock. Lets it fly. He beat it. Missed it. Jacobs has it. A 3 could tie it for the Bills.
2 excellent defensive sets by the Billikens. NC State really stagnant offensively, settling.
Now Collins. Allen on him. Perkins from the baseline. Floater. And he'll shoot a pair, and it looks like that may go against Bates. If it is, it's number 4. You say it was not against Bates.
They're going to get Helms.
Helms. That's his 3rd.
Very close, though. You're right. That could have been 4 on Bates, which would have been huge. But the foul trouble's starting to stack up for the Wolfpack.
Again, a team that only traveled, if you just joined us, 9 players have dressed out for NC State tonight. Perkins splashed the first one through. So you're Kevin Keats. This becomes a crucial spot in the game with 9-12 and how to manage the minutes with foul trouble.
Yeah, you're just trying to buy some minutes with Sebron coming in for Helms. Trying to make sure Bates doesn't get his 4th. You're not as deep. They've had 5 games canceled or postponed. I mean, it's just crazy how random some teams have played their full schedule, and so there's 8-10 teams that just started playing their first game this week.
Yeah. Billikens literally put out like an APB and said, hey, we're looking for a game.
They call it
on Twitter.
Speed dating on Twitter.
Right. Beverly fouled.
Travis Ford not too happy. He's like, that's the same contact we've been seeing all game. Beverly right there. Collins is right there. Again, you have the rule of verticality, Dan. You can jump as long as you're straight up and you don't put your arms down. That's not a foul. Just because the guy falls down.
Saw that in our game on Tuesday night with Fred Thatch. As Beverly missed it, and the lead is at 3 with under 9 to play.
Billikens can't seem to find a way to close that gap.
Yuri Collins, though, with his 15th point. You're right, Scotty. He is looking to score instead of dish.
I mean, as much as I've ever seen him in a Billiken uniform, I mean, he senses they need him, and he has certainly been aggressive.
Lead is cut to 1, 56-55. Chance to take the lead for SLU. For the lead. Off the back iron, Beverly. Picked it up, goes right at Jordan Goodwin. Out of control a bit. Hassan French the rebound. Now Javante Perkins. Goodwin is there. Thought about it. In the lane for the lead. Got it! He got it. Jordan Goodwin knocked it down, and the timeout is taken. 8:06 to play. And a huge shot by Jordan Goodwin, and the Billikens have a 57-56 lead.
That really is a big shot. It's kind of interesting, Dan. You know, if you had a full crowd tonight, which you would have with fans, the crowd would be going crazy right now, and just the bench is going crazy, and a few people on the baseline that work for the university. But a big comeback. Billikens finally get over the hump, get that lead. Now see if they can put together a couple more stops. and get some momentum.
Initially thought it was a timeout. Beverly had to go to the sideline. He was cut, so they work and attend on him. Good two-man game inside to Bates. We're going to go back and forth, it looks like, down the stretch. NC State back on top. Remember, that was the Billikens' first lead since 4-3 back in the first couple of minutes of our contest tonight. 7:42, the Wolfpack with a 1-point lead. We had a 9-1 run to take their first lead, 57-56, and a lot of it was due to Yuri Collins, now slewed down by 1.
Yeah, Dan, he really kept him in the game. As aggressive I've ever seen him in a Billiken uniform, but really sensed that his team needed him to be more of a scorer as opposed to a facilitator. Had a terrific night, 15 points, also 3 assists, and again, that's going to open up opportunities and spacing for his teammates as well. He's been fantastic.
Wolfpack by 1, 7:42 to go. Both teams undefeated. Jacobs is at the line for SLU. Billikens tonight 16 for 21 from the free throw line. And he hits the first.
He's kind of the X factor for this Billiken team. Started most of last year, coming off the bench this year, shooting 76% from the floor, had 13 against LSU. He's just versatile, can kind of play 3 or 4 positions. He can guard, he can play point, kind of a utility man.
For the lead, in and out. And will this be a foul?
Looks like it's going to be on French, pushing Bates in the back.
That's his 3rd personal. Boy, you don't want to see that on a free throw attempt.
Picks up his 3rd, and he puts Bates at the line.
And Bates is 4 or 5 from the free throw line.
Yeah, just a little bit, enough of a push right in front of the official.
So Manny Bates, the 6'11" sophomore, heads to the line. Missed it. Rebound, Hassan French. We are tied at 58. 7:30 plus to go. Here from Chaifetz Arena, Jacobs to Perkins. Goodwin, Collins, Perkins, French, Jacobs on the floor for SLU. Here's Jordan Goodwin, who has 14. Goodwin trying to get it to Jacobs. Ball is loose on the floor. Wolfpack come away with it. It's Moore. Oh, what a play here. Jordan Goodwin with the steal and the quick hands.
You're right. He's got great hands. Great instincts.
Perkins was fouled twice. And on the second one, it was finally called. He was grabbed, they didn't call it. Then when he elevated, he finally got the call.
Yeah, Billiken's very fortunate. Wolfpack had numbers, and Goodwin just with the quick hands. See why he's the all-time leader. You see the hold right there, and then he comes around and gets a piece of him on the shot. Perkins is such a hard guard. It's 6'6". He's long. He's got a mid-range game. He can put it on the floor. Averaged 25 a game. Southwestern Illinois Junior College, and just scores so easily.
It has not been one of his better nights with 5 of 12 from the floor, but yet he's got 12 points.
That's how you average 19 a game.
Yep.
That's why we said he's just scores so easily, and you know, he's going to be up there in the A-10 this year. Has a chance to be an all-league performer.
So 13 for Perkins, substitution. Helms back in for NC State. Moore, Helms, Allen, Bates, Daniels on the floor.
Yeah, you do.
So they'll have 4 guys that have 3 personals out there on the floor for NC State.
Yeah, and you do wonder if the depth becomes an issue, not just the foul trouble, but just the minutes.
Fatigue.
Yeah, fatigue. You got the Billikens are playing 9 and 10 and rolling guys in and out, and really Kevin Keats has got this down to about a 7-man rotation right now.
This is Moore, deep 3, no good. Rebound, Hassan French.
Tell you what, good box out by Demarius Jacobs. You know you're doing a good job when the ball bounces in the middle of the lane. Nobody can get to it.
French has 13 boards tonight. Jacobs, 4-3, knocked it down, and it's 63-58 SLU.
That's a big one, Dan. That's a big one.
The Bills' largest lead was when they opened up the game 4-0, and now it is at 5 with 6:24 to go. 63-58, St. Louis U on top. That is a big one.
That was, just to get a little separation. Watch Jacobs just patient, just waiting with his hands ready. Shooters, if you like to shoot, be ready. Always be ready. Then he slides up and rotates up, makes himself available for the catch. And Goodwin with the simple pitch and the knockdown three.
I think to your point before, Scotty, how the Billikens have obviously a deeper bench right now, and they've been from the get-go. Travis Ford was substituting early on, kind of going with waves of guys and throwing them at the Wolfpack, and you got to see now with under 6.5 to play what kind of factor that'll be down the stretch.
Yeah, and Kevin Keith, they've been trying to, they got a shortened bench, and they've been trying to put a little pressure on full court, and Travis Ford's been using his bench effectively, making sure he's getting 9 and 10 guys out there. Again, no fault of Kevin Keith, but he's just a couple men down. And you're starting to see maybe some heavy legs from NC State.
Allen from the right elbow, no good. And it's shots like that when you sometimes see the heavy legs.
Well, now on the offensive end, again, see if they can get Hassan French involved and get Bates in a pick and roll.
Collins. Now to Perkins. Inside, Hassan French. Squares up against Bates. Bates playing with 3. And he got it to go.
There you go. Go right at him. Now he doesn't want to foul. He doesn't want to pick up that 4th. And Hassan French is big and strong enough to use that shoulder to create some space.
Lead is opened up to 7 for St. Louis U. And that'll be a travel on Helms and the momentum on the Billikens side.
You're right about that. The bench loves it. Momentum is real. Fans or no fans, these players know when the momentum has swung, and so do the coaches.
5:43 to play. Billikens trying to go to 6-0. They'll take on Minnesota in their next game. Collins. Goodwin for 3. No. And the rebound to Bates. This becomes a fairly big possession, you get the feeling, for NC State. They need a bucket.
Yeah, they've had a lot of empty trips.
And they lost it there. Perkins wants to push. Here comes Javonte Perkins. Leans in, got it blocked, and it's kept alive by Helms. Perkins thought he was fouled. Will go the other way. This is Allen up and under, and he's fouled. 65-58 with 5:03 to play.
Well, it just looks to me like NC State is tired. There's some tired legs. Bates is struggling to get up and down the floor. Allen does a nice job getting in the paint, drawing the foul on Hassan French. But this NC State team looks like they're running out of gas.
So Thomas Allen at the line. Linson back in. French with 4 personal fouls will have a seat. A lot of times down the stretch you won't see him play anyway, in particular if SLU has a lead because of free throw shooting.
I would think Travis will sit him for a couple minutes, get him back in about 3:30.
Middle of the floor, Perkins. Now Jordan Goodwin. Matched up with Helms here. Under 5 to go. Goodwin to Perkins. Puts it on the floor. Floater. Got it.
Yep.
Javonte Perkins.
Yeah, that's why we call him the closer, because when you need a basket down the stretch, he's the guy that they're going to go to.
Perkins with 15. Collins with 15. Goodwin with 14. SLU by 7. Ball loose on the floor. Collins in the front court. Lays it up and in.
Oh, he couldn't figure out if he was going to dunk it or lay it in. Almost missed it.
Bills by 9.
It's quite a run by the Billikens. All starting on the defensive end. I mean, they have strung together many stops against this NC State team, and they have relegated to a lot of one-on-one.
Beverly for 3. That's no good. Linson the box out underneath. And it's out of bounds off the hands of Bates. It's an 11-2 St. Louis U run. Under 4 to play. SLU trying to stay undefeated, and they lead by 9 over NC State. Billikens basketball is brought to you by your Quality Ford dealers, proud sponsor of your SLU Billikens. Go to buyfordnow.com to learn more. Javante Perkins had 4 at the half. He now has 15. Yuri Collins with 17 to lead all scorers. And Jordan Goodwin has 14 for SLU. And the Billikens have opened up a 9-point lead. They just hung around enough in this game when it seemed like they were down by 10 or 15, but they hung around, and now you look up with under 4 to play, they lead by 9.
Yeah, we said they've got enough offensive weapons. You know the offense is going to come around in the course of the game. They've got enough weapons. Yuri Collins kind of kept them in it in the rugged kind of first half. But then but really the key is they strung together multiple stops on the defensive end, and I think candidly they've really worn NC State down. You can kind of see their legs going.
Here's Jacobs. Oh, the flush for Jacobs. Double digits for SLU. Elevated and flushed it home, and the Billikens have an 11-point lead.
Well, that's how you break the press.
The folks in the building making noise. It's the sideline of SLU, and they answer with Bates and his easy 2.
I was gonna say, who are those people? Are they're the athletic trainers?
Trainers,
doctors,
everybody that's part of the SLU front office, if you will.
Right.
Athletic department.
All 12 of them.
Yeah. They break the pressure easily. Collins with under 3 to play. Linson sets the pick. Collins now to Jacobs. He's had a couple of big buckets down the stretch. Linson on the way up, he's fouled. That'll go against Bates, and for Bates, that is personal foul number 4.
Well, I like the last couple of possessions against Bates is Hassan French and now Martin Linson. Instead of jumping away from a shot blocker and give him space to block the shot, you go right into them, put pressure on the officials to make that call.
Billikens 31% shooting in the first half, and here in the second half, major difference, 60%.
Field goal percentage is usually a function of shot selection and patience, and they've been much more patient on the offensive end. They've taken care of the ball for the most part a little bit better, and again, they got their shooters shots that they can make.
And the lead, double digits with under 3 to go.
For NC State, you got to speed this game up. You don't have a lot of time to play with the basketball, but it's tough to get anything against this Billiken defense.
Daniels,
no.
Call that. Oh, did they count that?
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to count that?
Travis Ford's like, you got to be kidding me. These guys aren't getting paid. That's NBA right there. Take a look at this. Let's see where the bump is. I mean, the bump is on the floor. I mean, that's what happens in the association, not in college basketball.
And Daniels will take it. Certainly North Carolina State is going to take it. Cut to lead, 72-65. Daniels called for the foul. That's his 4th foul. So Daniels with 4, Bates with 4. Helms on the floor with 3. Billikens have Collins with 4, French with 4. Those two in foul trouble currently on the floor for SLU. And Javante Perkins at the line with 15 tonight, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. It's the first. It was the 28th free throw attempt for St. Louis University in this game. 21 of 28. Get them both. Daniels against French. Off the glass, no good. Tipped. Billikens have it. Jacobs up the floor for SLU, all the way in. No, couldn't finish with the left hand. will go the other way. Daniels lets a three fly, too strong, tipped around, Javante Perkins with it. And Collins is saying, hey, slow it down. Under 2 to play.
And they want the ball in Perkins' hand because they're going to have to foul. And Travis Ford saying, Perkins, go get it. Trying to keep it in his hands.
Now to under 15, you let the possession play out, don't you? If you're NC State?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, but they probably should have fouled 15
Absolutely.
seconds ago.
No question.
It drives me crazy in college basketball.
Perkins for 3. He got it. And that might be the dagger in this one tonight. Perkins for 3. A huge one down the stretch for St. Louis U. 77-65 Billikens. That's short. Collins has it. Up the floor it goes. Jordan Goodwin, and the Billikens are going to win this game.
How about this run? I mean, it's stunning. It is stunning how they have just hammered NC State in this last 5-6 minutes of the game on both ends. NC State just looks tired. I mean, they can't even run up and down the floor.
It's not only the fact that you're short-handed with players, but then, and you know this better than anybody, Scotty, I mean, when you haven't played and as long as they haven't played, trying to get into a game flow, game action, it's tough to get your legs.
It's tough to simulate that in practice. They haven't played since December 3rd. They're down a couple of their key players in their rotation, and you mentioned they have foul trouble, and the Billikens just keep throwing fresh body after fresh body against you. Travis Ford playing with different combinations and finally found the right flow here in the last 10 minutes of this game and just broke this open.
So the lead for the Bills is at 14.
Yeah, people are going to look at this game and go, oh, looks like the Billikens handled that one pretty easily, and they're going to have no idea unless you watch this one how close a game this was for 38 minutes.
79-65. And this will send Jacobs to the line. Really quality minutes down the stretch for Jacobs.
Yep, really, you're exactly right on both ends. I mean, not just the shots that he hit, but he defended well, he rebounded, handled the ball against the pressure. Really good minutes by Demarius Jacobs.
So SLU at one point was down by 10. And now they have a lead of 15. Down by 10 in the second half at one point.
That's quite a turnaround. Tell you what, their defense has been outstanding for the most part in this second half.
Bates with the flush, quick timeout taken, 48.2 to go. And it's 80-67 in favor of St. Louis U. What a run by the Billikens at home. They're trying to go to 6-0 in 2020 and make it 11 games in a row, dating back to February of last season. (80-67) in favor of SLU. And the Billikens will have the basketball with under 50 seconds to play. Gibson Jimerson trapped in the corner, and they call a travel.
Well, that's the one place on the court you don't want to inbound the basketball against the press. It's one thing that Gibson Jimerson will continue to learn, only a sophomore. Coach Ford says, Gibson, there's a reason you were open in the corners, because that's where they want you to catch it.
That's right. So they sub him out. Here's Beverly off the inbound. Perkins on him. NC State can't waste any more time. They have to let it fly. They do. Head of the key. No good. Put back in. The tip is up and good by Shaquille Moore. The telecast of this game is authorized by the A10. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the image, sound, account, or description of the game without the express written consent of the Atlantic 10 Conference is strictly prohibited. Along with Scott Highmark, I'm Dan McLaughlin. It's been a good one tonight. Not necessarily one of the games that you'll go back and look at and say, this is a beautiful offensive game. However, if you're a Billiken fan with 34.7 seconds remaining, you will look at this and say, hey, 11 points on NC State, the lead right now down the stretch, you'll take it.
Absolutely. And as you look at your entire body of work and your non-conference schedule, this is a bonus game that they did not know on Tuesday that they were going to get to play. And so now you look at your non-conference schedule and you got a chance to run the table. You're going to have a quality win against LSU, a quality win against NC State from Power 5 conferences, get an opportunity to go Sunday to play Minnesota. and then you're back at home against UMKC, and then you head into conference play against Duquesne. So, I mean, if they could run the table and go 3-0 this week, Dan, they will have done everything they can possibly do in the non-conference season to set them up for not only a great run in the A10, but potentially an at-large bid.
And a win tonight, more than likely, and a win on Sunday for sure, I would think, puts you in the top 25.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, they were the
second team
out. Yep, receiving votes. So you would think 2 quality wins against Power 5 schools would get you there.
Catch by Gibson Jimerson. They get it across the timeline. And a timeout taken by Travis Ford. With 23.7 seconds remaining. And an 11-point lead.
You know, it's interesting. You know, as much as the Billikens struggled in that first half scoring, you look up and they've scored 80 points. I mean, that's how potent that they really are. As we look at the A10 standings, we talked about Richmond's in the top 25 and getting votes. St. Bonaventure just started playing their first game this week, but as you look at the A10, you know, you expect Richmond, VCU, Rhode Island's got a great player in Fats Russell, certainly Dayton. Davidson beat UNLV, so there's been some really, really good quality wins. Rhode Island's only 3-4, but they've played a very tough non-conference schedule. This is going to be a good year for the A10.
With 23.7 seconds remaining, it looked like NC State was ready just to kind of, you know, they were trapping, but yet they weren't going to foul and just play it out.
Yeah.
There's a difference of about 3 seconds on the game clock and the shot clock.
Kevin Keats, again, he's going to have a nice team. He's really missing, you know, Cam Hayes and DJ Funderburg, 2 of their kind of top 7 guys. Certainly Funderburg, a 6'10" guy. But this is a team that's projected middle of the pack in the ACC. If you're in the middle of the pack in the ACC, as they were last year, they went 10-10. You're going to play in the tournament.
Yeah.
This could be an NCAA tournament quality win when we look back in March.
Some from the athletic department that are here for SLU are standing and applauding and appreciating the effort tonight from the Billikens. 80-69. Shot clock violation. NC State will inbound it, and this will do it. This will be an 80-69 win for St. Louis U, and with the win, the St. Louis U Billikens, folks, are now 6-0 to start 2020. Nice win.
No question, a nice win for Travis Ford, and wasn't always pretty, as you said, but to go 6-0, get a huge quality win in a bonus game they didn't know they were playing on Tuesday. This program playing with a lot of momentum going into Sunday at Minnesota and then back home. Travis Ford and the Billikens should be proud of the effort and the way they gutted this one out.
Well, we hope to visit with Travis Ford here momentarily. Hard-fought win for the Bills. Perkins had 4 in the first half, winds up with 20. 17 for Collins, 16 for Jordan Goodwin. But the bottom line is the St. Louis University Billikens are now 6-0 this year. And Coach Travis Ford, kind enough to join us. Coach, not the prettiest of wins, but a win is a win is a win. What'd you think?
We'll take it. We were fighting ourselves first half. I give NC State credit. That defense they're very aggressive. But a heck of a scoring second half for us to score 29 points in the first half and come back out the second half and score 51, whatever it was. We just grinded it out. It wasn't pretty. We just hung in there. Gibson made some big shots. Yuri was a warrior from beginning to end, and it just led us competitively. Yuri was just at a high level competitively. It's good to win the game because it wasn't pretty early.
Well, Coach, we talked a lot about your depth and that the cumulative effect of the depth that you have. I thought on the defensive end, we thought the offense would come around, which it did, but you got a lot of defensive stops in a row that helped catapult that momentum and create that lead.
Well, we did. We talked about it at halftime that it's going to have to be done on the defensive end. As bad as we were offensively, I thought we would be okay. We weren't getting enough consecutive stops, and we even didn't. Beginning of the second half had me concerned because we weren't getting the consecutive stops we wanted, and I hated we didn't get into our bench second half deep. And I'd like to just our bench was incredible. Some of these guys are used to playing, and they're going to play, but because we finally found a rhythm. Late in the second half, I just had to stick with some guys. But I appreciate how the bench really handled it tonight. They were cheering for these guys, and we needed every bit of it.
Coach, with a short turnaround for this game when it got announced and then playing it tonight, how tough was this on your kids and your staff just to get ready, do the scout, and get ready to play?
Well, it was tough, and it had me a little concerned. I didn't sleep much last night because we did not practice yesterday. We literally walked through a few things. Because I thought we were tired on Tuesday night. I thought we played a little bit tired. So we literally had a walkthrough yesterday and kind of threw it up tonight. And I thought you saw it a little bit early. I thought we were a little sluggish early, and it might have been because of that.
And, Coach, you got a couple days before you head up to Minnesota. How do you prepare for playing against a good Big Ten team?
No, we need a couple days because Minnesota is one heck of a team, incredible point guard, big-time, big man in the middle. A team that's off to a 6-1 start. They're really, really good. Richard Pitino has that team going, and one of the better teams in the country.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Great job tonight. The Billikens are now 6-0, and tonight's broadcast has been a presentation of Fox Sports Midwest in association with the Atlantic 10 Conference. Once again, the final score from Chaifetz Arena, the Billikens 80, NC State 69. Our next Billiken telecast comes your way next Wednesdays. The Billikens host UMKC. Coverage will begin at 7 on Fox Sports Midwest. For Scott Highmark, I'm Dan McLaughlin. For our entire crew, thanks for being with us. Thanks for watching Billiken Basketball on Fox Sports Midwest.